Halloween is going to be here before you know it. So today I'm excited to share with you the most adorable last minute Halloween costume that I made with my Cricut maker and my heat press. If you don't have a heat press, you can use an iron, but this definitely made it a lot easier. It is an ice cream costume. So I got a little white dress. You can use a t-shirt if you want, whatever is going to be simpler. A t-shirt actually would be a little bit simpler. All of the sprinkles are iron-on vinyl, so it's going to last a long time for her, and I can actually imagine her wearing this after just for play because it's so cute. And then to finish off the costume, of course, a little ice cream cone hat. And this is just made super easy with some paper, and then I cut some Cricut felt to go around to make it look like the ice cream is on the cone. As you can see, my daughter looks so cute in this costume, and she was so happy with the way it turned out, and so was I. So let's get started. I'll show you step by step how to make this fun last minute ice cream costume for Halloween. For supplies, you're gonna need, of course, your Cricut machine. I've got my Cricut maker that I'm using. You'll also need a plain white t-shirt or dress. So this is a dress that I found. It's made of t-shirt fabric, so it'll work perfectly. You'll need several different colors of everyday iron-on, and I'll make sure to put links to these in the description. You'll also need some scrapbook paper or cardstock for the hat. And I'm using this one here because it has the lattice pattern for the cone. If you can't find that, Cricut also sells just plain paper packs, and so they have some brown that you could use to make the cone and then possibly make a design for the pattern on the top. I'm also using some of Cricut's felt, and I'm going to be using the white color to make the little ruffle around the edge of the cone to make it look like it's got ice cream on it. I'll also be using my Cricut heat press and the mat that goes with it for the iron-on vinyl. You'll also need a hot glue gun and some elastic cording for the hat. All right, to make the sprinkles, we're gonna go to Design Space. I'm actually using one of the images in here. I just searched for the word sprinkle in the Cricut library, and I really liked the look of these rounded edge sprinkles here. So I'm gonna click on that one, click Insert Image. And now I want to isolate one of the sprinkles. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to Shapes and choose a square. And we're going to isolate this little sprinkle right here. That way I can just cut one sprinkle at a time. Unlock the square so you can make it a rectangle and go as close to that one sprinkle as you can. And then click and drag a rectangle around both of them to select them both, and then go down to the bottom right here and push slice. Then that will just give you a bunch of pieces of this. Go ahead and delete all those extra pieces, and then we'll just do the same thing a couple more times until we isolate that one sprinkle. I want the sprinkle to be about 3 inches long, so resize the sprinkle. Use the grid on the page to get it at the 3-inch mark, which I believe is right here. And then I want to cut out a bunch at a time that are close to each other. So I'm going to just keep copying and pasting this and put them right next to each other. So I'm cutting 6 different colors. This gives me 10. I think I'll just stick with that to make sure that I have enough. So I'm gonna do 10 of each color. You might need more or less depending on the size shirt you're using. Keep in mind that I'm doing a whole dress, so I might need a little bit more than you. So once you've got those all laid out, go ahead and click on Make It. No need to mirror it since these are all symmetrical shapes. Grab your mat and load the vinyl on with the shiny side down. Then continue with the remaining 5 colors. Next, we're going to make the cone hat. So go into images and just search for the words party hat, and you can see this 3D one right here. Insert images. I'm using this lattice print paper from the Mosaic Floral Pack from Cricut. Put the diamonds so that they're going this way and lay it on the mat. And then for materials, go to browse all materials, and I'm gonna type in deluxe paper, and I'll bring up the exact paper that I'm using. Load that up. And then you'll have a 3D paper cone with a little slit in the side that you can turn into a little party hat, and I'll show you how to assemble all of this in a minute. Next, I'm going to cut out the felt piece that goes around the bottom of the cone hat, and for that I want a little bit of a wavy line, so I searched the word wavy on here and I found this wavy line right here. It says wavy border, so I'm going to insert that, and I don't want it to be so big of a wave, so I'm going to unlock it and then make it a little bit shorter. I want it to be as long as I can get it, so almost to that 12-inch mark. You don't want to go all the way. I'll copy that and paste it. Alright, so now I've got 2 of the same wave, and I want my wave to be about 2 inches thick, so I'm going to move that up just so I can see on my measurement here. Then drag and select both of them and push the weld button. Alright, so that's perfect. Now I want to copy that and paste it again, and I am going to go ahead and do one more just in case I need it to be even bigger. I'll leave a note in the video to let you know if I needed 2 or 3. And these are going to be cut out in felt. So go ahead and go to the make it. Alright, so then go ahead and click on the felt option. We are going to want to change the blade that we're using. So click on edit tools, and we're going to use the rotary blade. That way I don't have to put a backing on my felt. So I'm using the maker so I can use that rotary blade. Load your white felt onto your fabric grip mat, and then we're going to change out the regular blade for our fabric cutting blade. Load up the mat. Unload that. And take off the felt. And you have perfectly cut waves for your cone hat. Then you can go ahead and just start weeding out all of the areas that are not sprinkles. And you also want to weed out this outer border. Once you have those all weeded out, cut them to separate each individual sprinkle. Before we get started on making the dress or the shirt, whatever you're using, you want to make sure to wash it and dry it without using any fabric softener. That way, in case anything shrinks, it will be ready to go. Next, we're going to put on all of the sprinkles that we cut. I am a planner, so I like to see everything laid out first. So I laid all of this out, and then I took a picture of it with my phone so that I could remember where I put everything, because you're going to need to take them off and then preheat the fabric before ironing them on. If you don't have an easy press, the directions are going to be a little bit different for you. I'm using my Cricut Easy Press 2. You can also use an iron with this iron-on vinyl. I have my Easy Press heated up to 315 degrees, and I'm going to preheat my fabric for 5 seconds in each spot. Next, put the pieces back on where you want them. Once everything looks how you want it, we're going to take the Easy Press and put it on a section of our sprinkles, and with light pressure press that for 30 seconds. Take that off, and then I wasn't able to get all the way over to the other side of the shirt, so I'm going to move it over and then do the same thing on this side. Next, flip the shirt over and we're gonna press the back. And for the back, we'll just do 15 seconds. And for this, you want to do a cool peel, which means that you wait for it to cool completely before you peel off the plastic covering. I'm going to wait until I'm done with the whole thing because I am going to be putting some sprinkles on the back and I want these covers to stay on until I'm completely done with the whole dress. Just continue doing the same thing with the sprinkles for the rest of the shirt or dress. And now that everything's cooled off, I can peel off all of the plastic. If any of the vinyl starts to come up as you're peeling it, just go back over it with the heat press again to make sure that it gets nice and ironed on. Next, we're gonna make the hat, and I ended up only needing 2 pieces of the felt. So, take the cone shape and slide it through the slit that the cut file made. Okay, that actually did not work very well. The cut file made it a little bit difficult, but I'm going to be gluing it anyway. My paper is starting to rip. So take some hot glue, start at the tip, and make sure you get that nice cone at the top. And then glue down the rest of the hat, and then glue down this little flap here. And since we're gluing it, you probably could have made this a little bit tidier by just cutting off this part completely when you're in design space, but I'm kind of making this up as I go. So there we go, we got our little cone hat. Put some hot glue around the edge and just start attaching the frosting. And I'm just gonna try and match this up best I can back here to make it kind of flow. It's not gonna be perfect. Glue that on and then cut off the excess. And then the last thing that we'll need to do is attach some elastic cord. And there are 2 holes that you can see on the inside. The cut file had little slits. So I'm going to put one through that side. And I probably could have done this before gluing on the felt, which would have made it a lot easier. Live and learn. I'll tie a double knot in here, and then I'm gonna also hot glue it. And your little ice cream cone hat is ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this last minute Halloween costume idea. Make sure you head to the description so that you can see links to all of the products that I use so that you can recreate this at home. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and head to my blog cutesycrafts.com for more fun craft ideas.